E ki ana nā pākeke o Tuawhenua, he tataruna he roa raro. Nā reira he poto te wā kua humahia ki au, nā reira ka poto te mihi. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. The old people of Tuawhenua have a very cryptic way of saying if you muck around, you'll miss the boat. And so I'm going to leave my introductions really brief. I'm Brenda Tahi, a Gisborne girl originally, so it's great to be back, and great to be back at Eastwood Hill as well. I'm here though for Tuawhenua, for the Tuawhenua Trust, where I've lived for many years. And we live in the middle of the Urawera, and we're mad about our forest. We love our forest. It's not just a reflection of what we are, our tipuna from within the forest and other forests, the species of the forest. So, rākau o te wao nui a tāne refers to the forest trees, our ancient forest trees, and miare mo te ao. It's just referring to one thing that sort of forest can give us, and that special New Zealand unique honeys for the world, not just for New Zealand. So unashamedly, I'm here as an advocate for native forest, for indigenous forest, and in case there's any connotations that you don't like around native or indigenous, I'm coining the term New Zealand unique. Okay, takotoko ana te whānau a tāne. That's actually what we've got in New Zealand. Tāne is our ancestor who separated the earth from, or the sky from earth, and our tipuna, and put in place, begat all the species of our forest. And essentially across our nation, we've flattened them. And so, again, unashamedly, my kaupapa is about seeing our offspring, the offspring of Tāne, resurrected. So, Tuawhenua is a valley within the Urawera, and you saw how extensive the Urawera is. Our trust is responsible for a mere 9,000 hectares. There's actually some bigger properties going on here. I thought we were quite big. But it's not the farm, it's not that beautiful green bit in the middle. It's the dark green hilly stuff. Land classification 6 to 8, and for those that know that, that's not the right end of the scale. The land utilisation is really difficult. So we've turned to a number of things amongst our multiple objectives for our trust, for the future of our people in Tuawhenua. So as you can see, it's steep. This is land 6 to 8 if you've never seen it. And that's the nature of what we're dealing with, a whole 9,000 hectares. But we've got a future, and we've got hope, and we've got intention. So our trust has got objectives not just around the biodiversity that we deal with in our forests, but also socio-economic objectives about creating jobs and increasing the lot of our people in Tuawhenua, and our people who live out of Tuawhenua but are from Tuawhenua. And also we have commercial objectives. Grubby they are, but yes, we have them too. So we're great at haka. I don't know if you know, but we're right up there when it comes to the matatini, the national Māori competition for haka. And we're also great at hunting, and we've got lots of practice in the place where we're at. But haka and hunting aren't going to cut it for our future generations. So we're really keen to add other things to it. And that's where the grubby commercial stuff comes in, but also something that connects to with our wish to see the offspring of Tāne resurrected. And so we've turned from haka and hunting now to honey. And with honey goes obviously the beekeeping, and we've developed our own to do it with difficulty. This might sound like we're pretty good at what we do. We're actually just big triers. So I'm really in the wrong company, you know, because everybody else that's talked today has actually done it, and they're right up there. But we're at the beginning, and we're working hard to keep control of what we do. We're doing it at our pace, and we're taking our people with us, and developing our own rather than just looking at the grubby commercial. Okay, so why honey and beekeeping? We love honey. It's great for our health, and with the honeys that we produce in Tahi, it's great for taste. I'm not sure I can say that for all New Zealand honeys, or honeys produced everywhere in New Zealand, but certainly what we produce we love. It's a reflection of our ngahere, of our forests. So it's a real taonga from our forests. And we started in this kaupapa not so much on trees for bees, but bees for trees. So we actually saw the feral beehives in our throughout the Urawera. We're actually supplementing the regeneration or the enhancement of the conservation, or slowing the degradation of our forests. Every native forest in New Zealand is degrading. Every one. And ours is no different. So we saw that bees had a real role, a real function in actually helping to slow that decline. We talked about some of the species that are bird or bat pollinated, and bees can help with some of that. The honeybee, though we lost, our feral hives were lost throughout the Urawera with the advent of varroa, and so we decided we would go to the managing of hives, but yes, alongside it was also the commercial imperatives. It actually fits with our tradition of forest honey gathering. This is something that our people did since the honeybee got into the Urawera, probably in the middle of the 1800s, maybe 1850 or thereabouts. And yes, it has got the potential, although it's not manuka, we're only dealing with the other species, to support the commercial intentions of our trust. Why trees for bees? Why are we here? Why did we show an interest in this kaupapa? And thank you, Linda, for what you've shared with us today about this project. We're really interested in general about contributing to a restoration or enhancement of New Zealand unique ecosystems. So I'm not really interested in the exotic, and I've told Linda that, and I'm just saying to everybody here, as I said to you unashamedly, I'm an advocate for New Zealand unique, and we have got terrific species in our own forests, but we are not turning to them enough for what can be done in the sort of project that Trees for Bees can be. I know that the project's going to shift in emphasis as it goes along, but for the start it has had a focus on exotic, and I'm really pushing hard for us to go to New Zealand unique. Okay, through that we want to see preferential use. If you've got a choice, go for New Zealand unique, Indigenous. Specifically for us in Tuawhenua, we're really interested in identifying and understanding the particular pollen sources that are within our forests. And out of that, to use those particular bee plants for enhancement plantings along in our farm area, and also in the areas of our steeper lands. We have worked on a pollen calendar with some advice from Linda, but we had also been thinking about this for some time, because we have an objective around everything that we do to gain a profound understanding. So we gain that from both our mātauranga as well as gathering what we can from scientific research. This is just simply observation, and it won't stack up in terms of what Linda does, but this is what we understand we have as a pollen calendar in Tuawhenua. I can't give you the botanical. I can tell you some of the English names. Parapara is 5-finger, Tātaramoa is bush lawyer, Kohia is vine, I can't tell you, I think it's got a passion fruit sort of name to it. Puamana is the clematis, Ramarama is Olieria, I think it is. Wharani is like Rangiora, Hino, pass. Pigs love the seed anyway, the fruit, and patate, pass, can't tell you. Manuka Kānuka you'll know. Also, these are also nectar sources. We don't really get much Manuka and Kānuka, we have a lot of it. So guard against planting your little Manuka plantation in a forest like the Urawera, because you won't get any Manuka honey. We don't. We get mahoi, we'll get rewarewa. We get rata and tāwari and probably some tawhero. But these are other sources. Kaipōmako, tarata, you'll know, lemonwood. Coca is cabbage tree, harakeke, obviously your flax. Tawhero's like kāmahi. Later in the year, at the moment, just finishing or starting to finish is hauhi, hohoeka. Hauhi is hoheria, hohoeka is lancewood, and koko muka is hebes, koromiko. Yeah. So there's lots more in our forest, but these are some of the main ones that we have found. So why not more Indigenous? Perhaps you can ask the question. I know I'm talking to the converted, many of you here, but you know, perhaps the Antipodean landscape hasn't been appreciated as much as the European. Limiting perspectives mean that we focus on single purpose or short time frames. Some things are cheap and easy to grow, and maybe that's what we grab. And research and advice pointers are often putting us into the world of exotic rather than sticking with our New Zealand unique. Putting Indigenous to the fore, we can create a certain landscape that's New Zealand unique. It fits with our climate and soils. It fits with our biodiversity. Pollen sources can be gained year round. We can have New Zealand unique honey production and multiple uses. So recommendations, I'm promoting and hope that Trees for Bees can take a chapter that moves in this direction to better understand and to value New Zealand unique bee plants, to take a long-term future generational view. Hard to do for some landowners, but hopefully this will become more prevalent. To care about New Zealand ecosystems, not to see them as a nuisance, or to appreciate that they are in a spiral of decline, and to contribute as much as we can re-establishing te whānau tāne. So looking for New Zealand unique bee plants and planting on farms, forest regeneration sites, parks and reserves, riparian strips of course, and what nursery supply and promotion focuses on, and also the focus of research and advice from those who advise in this area. So I'm now finished, and kia ora tātou.